Alexyss, why aren't women just going after men with high character? Why don't women just go after guys with good moral character, good values and principles?
You must not know them, because I do. I don't look for.
Oh, I'm sure you know some, but I'm talking about the vast majority of women in society.
I know some. It's a lot. Okay, we ain't gonna have this conversation no more. You want to take some calls? That everybody's fucked up, and that everybody looks for things and cars, and everybody wants to fuck over everybody, and nobody can see through the dumb shit.
Oh, no, I'm not at all saying that. Of course I know that there's people who are mature and intelligent, look for the right people. We ain't talking about that. That would be preaching to the choir. We talking about, the whole purpose of the conversation is to talk about the people who are fucked up, whether they men or women, who are fucked up in the head. The women who are fucked up to the point where they're always allowing men to manipulate them, men who are fucked up because they always allow women to manipulate them. That's who we're talking about. We ain't talking about the people who got it together.
But we need to, because I'm trying to, let's take some calls. Let me see, 818, you there? Do you have a comment or question?
Yeah, I'm right here, Alexyss. How you doing?
Go ahead.
Hey, Alan, how you doing?
What's happening?
Not too much, man. Hey, I don't know anything about you, but I respect you for what you've accomplished professionally, and I just wanted to congratulations for what you've been able to do.
Appreciate that.
And also, thank you for exposing that crazy motherfucker with the multi-level marketing stuff that was on the other night.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a trip.
I have a couple questions for you, and then I'd like to make a comment if it's okay with you.
Okay, that's cool.
I think what we're talking about, what we're talking about is money and bling bling and cars and external issues, and what you're talking about men wanting. We're speaking in generalities, and you've been speaking in generalities, which I think can be dangerous. And certainly, there's a shred of validity to all rumors. There's a shred of validity to all stereotypes. But at the end of the day, animals fuck to procreate, and there's no emotion involved in that. And they just to procreate. But we're talking about we are human beings. And I think that, if we're talking about men wanting to fuck women at their expense, men wanting to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially successful at women's expense, that's a lack of spirituality. That's someone who has some real issues. And I think it really boils down to personal responsibility. Men and women have to accept responsibility for what they allow to happen to them, for what they allow to manifest in their lives. And so any woman who is going to allow herself to be pimped, to go out and have dinner and hustle a motherfucker so she can bring you some dinner, that's a woman who has no self-esteem. That's a woman who has some daddy issues, some mommy issues, and anyone who takes advantage of her, shame on them.
Well, I'm glad you punched the word allow, because anyone who's read my book, Mode 1, knows that that's a big thing I emphasize. Is if there's one thing I'm tired of on both genders, is men blaming women for their disappointments, problems, frustrations as it relates to dating relationships. And I'm tired of women blaming men for their disappointments, problems, and frustrations. Because ultimately, it comes down to this, and this is what I say in my book. Ultimately, we have control over two things: how we behave towards the opposite sex and how we allow the opposite sex to behave towards us. Anything beyond that is really out of our control. That's the only thing we have control of. How we choose to behave towards the opposite sex and how we allow the opposite sex to behave towards us. And again, it goes with that adage, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If somebody dupes you, manipulates you, whatever, one time, then yeah, you might say the other person deserves at least 50% of the blame. But if somebody's repeatedly manipulating you, disrespecting you, beating your ass, whatever it may be, that's your fault, because you allowing that shit.
I love helping people fuck so much better.
Say it again.
Yes, Daddy, I love helping men and women all over the world to fuck so much better.
The world needs a lot of good fucking, don't it?
Oh my goodness. It's the number one priority.
What's the number one priority?
That every man and woman on this planet enjoys good, amazing, out of this world fucking on a regular daily basis.
I have to agree with you on the communication piece, because I actually did take a session with Alan Roger Currie, and he gave me a line that I did not think was going to work, and it worked. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God!
Currie guys, man, he's the master. He's the master of the verbal seduction. He got that communication piece down pat.
It really worked. It just simply worked, and I just didn't think it was going to work at all.
Verbal seduction, man. I'm like, clearly, this guy's the Michael Jordan of seduction. Like, come on now.